In this video, we're going to talk about the SolidWorks skills every company should train internally, okay? Because most of the companies assume that if someone knows SolidWorks, that they naturally work efficiently inside of the team. But that's far from the truth because many engineers and designers know the tools, but they lack of consistent workflow, design intent, and the standards. And when you don't have these things, this leads to slow modeling, broken assemblies, they have to do the rework, and then at the end of the day, you waste a lot of hours. So the solution is not hiring better people, but it's training the right SolidWorks skills inside of your company. So that's why I'm going to share with you the core skills that every company should train if they want reliable, scalable CAD output. Okay. And the first one is design intent. And this is the most important skill. So what is the design intent? So this is ability to build models that behave correctly when changes happen, right? For example, when you change a dimension, whether that's on the sketch, on the feature, that your model doesn't break, right? So that's design intent when you design with intent that simulates behavior in the real life. That's why employees must know how to choose the correct base feature to start with, which dimension should drive the model, and which not. Then how to structure sketches and features logically, right? This is the workflow. And then how to avoid fragile feature trees, right? Feature trees that will not show errors. Because without design intent, simple changes will break the entire model. Engineers will avoid editing and they will always build everything from scratch, which wastes a lot of time. And also assemblies become unstable over time. Okay, so that's why this is the number one internal training gap that you need in your company. Number two is sketching standards and discipline. Now, sketch is the first phase in designing a model, right? And this is where a lot of problem starts. So that's why company should train on their fully defining sketches. The problem is that a lot of designers don't fully define sketches. And then later these create a mess. Then correct constraint usage, then proper plane selection, where to start, on what plane to start, right? Then avoiding unnecessary relations. Too many relations can make a model rigid, a sketch rigid, right? And then also sketch simplicity over complexity. How we can get this model with the simplest sketch as possible. So that's why the good sketch will give you stable parts, faster editing, and fewer errors. So that's number two, it's sketching standards. Number three, efficient part modeling workflows, right? So employees need to know more than just a tool. They need to know the workflow logic, right? So that means, okay, in which sequence do I have to use tools, right? Specific tools. So that's why you have to train the teams on feature order and rebuild strategy, when to use, for example, extrudes versus revolves versus sweeps, and so on. Then configurations versus separate parts, right? When to use configuration, when to create a parts from the scratch. And then also managing complexity as models grow. So this directly affects modeling speed and also consistency across the team, right? Because like you can build certain model in many different ways, but you have to find the most efficient way. And that's design workflow. So that's number three. Number four, assembly structure and performance, right? So assemblies are where poor training becomes expensive. And that's why teams should be trained on top-down versus bottom-up assembly strategy, because sometimes it's faster to go with one or another. Then proper mate selection. Also, what mate I'm going to use, right? Instead of using three mates, I can use one mate. Then lightweight and large assembly performance, and then also naming and structuring sub-assemblies. That's why well-trained teams build assemblies that open fast, rebuild reliably, and also are easier to modify and reuse. So that's number four, which is assembly. Number five, drawings that match manufacturing reality. So then we have number five, drawings that match manufacturing reality. Now, many companies lose time fixing drawings, not really designs, but fixing drawings. That's why you have to train them on correct dimensioning strategy, functional versus reference dimensions, proper tolerancing approach, drawing templates and standards that you use, and also clear communication with manufacturing, right? So, because this is where a lot of time is wasted reading the drawings, not really in design, but reading the drawings because they are not done correctly. So that's why drawings should reduce questions, not create them. Then we have number 7, which is certification level knowledge, CSWA, CSWP. So to get all of these things that I just mentioned, you're going to get most of them by having CSWA and CSWP certifications, actually your employees, right? That's why certifications aren't just for individuals, they are quality benchmark. That means if someone passes CSWP, they're going to know this, and this, right? Design intent, design workflow, and so on. That's why CSWA, CSWP level training ensures consistent modeling logic, time-efficient problem solving, standardized skill level across team members. So the companies with certified teams see faster onboarding, right? When you have a new employee, fewer modeling errors, less errors, and also higher confidence in design decisions. They don't have to ask many questions how to do this and that, right, in the design process. So that's number 7. Number 8 is standardized workflow across the team. So this is the biggest internal problem, and that's not having the standardized workflow, right? So internal training should align with feature tree structure, naming conventions, modeling order, file organizations, and also revision strategy. Because this will make collaboration much smoother and it's going to reduce dependency on the one CAD guy. Now, these are the 8 skills that I would suggest to improve the quality of your team. Now, why this matters, right? Why internal SolidWorks training matters? Because without internal training, every engineers work differently, right? Errors will multiply as projects scale. But then on the other side, with the training, productivity will increase, errors will decrease, design becomes reusable, team scales faster, and engineering costs are going down. Okay, so the final takeaway: SolidWorks is not just a software. This is a system of thinking. In companies that train on design intent, design workflow, assemblies, drawings, and advanced skills, build stronger engineering teams, not just better models. So if you want consistent professional level CAD output, these are the skills that you must be trained internally. Now, if you need a help with a training, how to train them, just click the link below and you can check out my website. And if these align with you, have any questions, you can reach out to me on that website. Thanks for checking out this video.